And here we go with another episode of Fouch and Friends. You all are the absolute best for being with us today for this interview with Josh Townsend. If it's your first time, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the future videos that we release. Josh Townsend has been the pianist for Legacy 5 for several years. He has a fantastic testimony, and he gives us an update on what's been going on with him and his ministry during this quarantine stay-at-home time. Enjoy this conversation with Josh Townsend. Well, hello, Josh Townsend. How are you?
Hello, Matthew Fouch.
Townsend. Or is it Townsend? Townsend.
Townsend.
And some folks just say JT.
Yeah, that's what most people know me as.
And then there's others who say Joshua.
Only my mom.
That's the same way with me. A lot of people call me Matt. Pretty much only my mother calls me Matthew. Most of
the time it's when she's mad at you, probably. Just like with me. Joshua?
So because normally I get Matthew Lee Fouch. So what would be for
No, I never got the whole first, middle, and last name.
Okay.
Mom just says Joshua when she's
Gotcha.
mad. So.
Well, man, I know we've seen each other a couple times doing the Legacy 5 stuff. So I know you've been doing okay, but during this time, you did have a little bit of a scare towards the beginning of time off. You had a couple seizures. So why don't you give the folks an update on that?
Yeah, I had two seizures back to back on around March 30th. I think it was like the 29th or something like that. But yeah, I've never had two seizures back to back like that. So that was really scary. I tore my hand up pretty bad. There's still a scar from when I fell, and my tongue's healed. At the beginning of it, I was sort of talking like this because I chewed my tongue pretty bad, but it's all better now. And the only thing that we're trying to figure out now is my short-term memory is not as great as it once was before the seizures. And so we're trying to figure out whether or not I'm having absent seizures, which are sort of blankouts, to where the seizures that not what you may picture a seizure as. It's just me blanking out and then not remembering what just happened. And so that's what we're trying to figure out on my memory. And I'm going to have another EEG done real soon. So as of right now, that's what we're dealing with. But
gotcha.
I feel good.
Good.
I feel good.
Good. And folks can pray for you and that situation. And I know that means so much to you. We've had a lot of folks messaging Legacy 5 and asking and commenting on some of our social media stuff. So I wanted to give you a chance to give folks an update. You're doing well health-wise. Just got a little memory thing we're checking out. One thing, though, that I'm sure you haven't forgotten is that you were nominated as a top 5 favorite musician.
Yes, I was. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was a shock. I honestly did not think I was going to make it in top 5. I mean, there's so many great musicians out there. So, I never really think that, I don't know, I'm not used to that. So it was a big shock and a surprise. So I'm very thankful for that.
Now, was it 2 years ago you won the favorite young artist?
Hold on. Yes, it was 2 years ago, 2018. Okay.
So you won the favorite artist 2 years ago, 2018, and then
young artist.
Favorite young artist, and then was it last year you made the top 10 favorite musician?
Yes, I did.
This year's the first time for the top 5.
I think the first time for top 5. I may be wrong, but I know that I was in both of them to begin with, but either way, I'm just so excited, and I want to thank all of the people real quick for supporting me, through all of this, and your love and support continues to just, it excites me to know that I have so many friends around the world that pray for me and support me. So
Now, I've heard folks come up to the table at the end of concerts or at intermission, and they're like, "Now, when did you start taking piano lessons?" And I've heard this answer 100 times, but I want to go ahead and let you tell all the folks watching this video today your history with piano lessons.
Matt Fouch taught me everything I know. No, I've actually not really had any piano lessons. I started when I was 3, and you cracked me up. Okay, so I started.
Folks, I'm just being funny because I've heard this story 100 times. I'm like, really? What? But for those that haven't heard it,
sometimes like Matt will turn to me whenever they ask that question and go, "What?"
Now, what is the answer to that? Because I already know it, and it's the same. But for folks that don't know it, it's great. So I'll stop doing that to you, and you can go ahead and share it.
Okay, so I started when I was 3 years old, and I mean, obviously, I was just trying to pick out notes and stuff, and I started playing on my grandparents' old upright piano, and gradually I would start using more fingers, and then I started using my left hand. But at that time, I was really young, and I still couldn't use my left hand hardly at all. But gradually I would get a little bit better, and I would watch Anthony Berger and Stan Whitmire and Gerald and Jaron Davis on the Gaither videos. And those people are the ones that really inspired me to start doing this. And so that's how I started.
All right. So no formal piano lessons. You just started banging out notes on the piano and watching the Gaither videos, and you just kind of picked it up from there.
I did go to Steve Hurst School of Music for 3 years. And I mean, they're not technically formal piano lessons, but I did get some lessons from Channing Ellington, Josh Singletary, Eric Ollis, some people like that. But as for formal piano lessons, I really taught myself.
What's your favorite song to play?
Probably the one that I do every night. I'm getting ready to leave this world because I spent so much money on that track. I better like playing it.
I've not ever heard that song.
Oh, really? Okay, hold on. Where's the track?
And you've taken what you've learned over the years though, and you've turned it into, at 22, you've turned it into a good career even up to this point, and playing with some of the best singers in gospel music over the years. You started, give folks, I could kind of go to the rundown, but why don't you give them the rundown of who you've played with and kind of the journey how that happened for you.
Well, I started when I was 15. I started with a group out of Atlanta, Georgia called the Old Paths, and started when I was 15, and I moved from Dallas, Texas to Atlanta, Georgia to start my career in gospel music. I was with them for 2.5 years, and then I started with the Bowling Family. And then after the Bowling Family, I went with the Lefevre Quartet. And after that, I started with Matt Fouch and Legacy 5.
And we've had a great 3-4 years now.
3 years coming up in June.
What would you say has been the highlight of your 3 years of being with Legacy 5?
Do you want the real answer, or do you want me to say you?
What's the real answer?
Okay, so probably going to Israel. Like, I had never done anything like that before. I had never been on a plane for 14 hours straight where my legs felt like noodles when I got off the plane. I've never done that. But, Israel was such a great opportunity. Um, there's so many people that, would love to get to do that, but may not be able to have that opportunity given to them. And as at the time, 20-year-old getting to do something like that, it means the world to me. So that's probably been my highlight.
If you could give a young piano player one piece of advice, let's say you know, they're a teenager and they're wanting to play either solo or in a quartet or whatever. What is something you would give them as a piece of advice?
Well, there's one piece of advice that I always give that when people come up to me asking me, that is, never think you're good enough. Never get to the point where you stop practicing and you think you're good enough and you're content where you're at. You always have room for improvement. There's somebody out there that's always going to be better than you. So never think that you're the best piano player that there is. But I always strive to get better daily. I try to practice as much as I can. So that's a one piece of advice that I always give. I think it's pretty good advice. So.
Well, I would hope that you would think the advice that you would give would be good advice. Hey man, so you've been playing for how many years is that? Say you're 7 years, 8 years?
8 years. Yeah.
8 years. 8 years you've been playing. What would you say? And you've played some other things other than just for the group that you're currently with. What are some of or at least one of the highlights of groups of people you've gotten to play with, or scrap iron quartets as they call them, or end of the night where everyone's on stage, something where you've played that hasn't been necessarily the group that you're playing with? What's been one of those highlights for you?
Well, in between the time when I was with the Old Paths and the Bowling Family, I would go and fill in for groups that needed a piano player, and not necessarily join them, but fill in for them. And I played for the Irwins for a few weekends. I've played. I went out with a few other groups, but I really liked whenever Legacy 5 would do stuff with Ernie and them, and we would do the Together Again stuff.
Yeah.
That was a whole lot of fun, and if I'm not playing piano, I'd jump over there with you and then sing a little bass, and then everybody woo, and I'd go over to the piano again. Yeah.
Now, is that your hidden talent? That
burping is my hidden talent. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I really liked that.
Cool. You have to rank your top 3 favorite piano players. Who are your top 3?
Top 3: Jason Webb, and many people may not know who Jason Webb is, but you've heard him on a lot of gospel music albums. He's a crazy talented piano player and producer. But he only does studio sessions. Gordon Moat. Can I give 5?
Okay, go with 5.
Okay, Jason Webb, Gordon Moat, Gerald, Josh Singletary, and Trey Ivy.
There you go. Now, who would you say are your top 2 that you watched the most on the Gaither videos?
On the Gaither videos, Well, I should have said Anthony Berger too, because he was the person who really got me. You know,
Yeah.
I forgot. Guys.
You can't have a top 10. No.
Top 6. Anthony Berger. Yeah, but he was the one who I would watch most on Gaither videos.
Gotcha. Man, tell these folks where they can connect with you on social media and where they can hear. I know you've been doing some tracks for some folks, some custom tracks. So
Yeah.
let them know where they can contact you if they're needing some custom tracks done, and then where they can follow your music and follow you online.
If you need to contact me for custom tracks, just send me a message either on Instagram. My handle is Josh Townsend Music on Instagram, and Josh Townsend Music. I have a page on Facebook, or Josh Townsend on Facebook. I don't do Twitter. I'm sorry. I don't know how that all works.
So what's one thing you feel like how God has given you strength through these things you've faced over the last couple months as a kind of as a way to encourage folks as we say goodbye to them?
Okay. Well, many people know my testimony. Um, they know that I've been through cancer, a tumor, a stroke, and now epilepsy. Um, you know, my dad was abusive, um, and I lost my twin. But, you know, I have an assurance that God will take care of me through the things I'm facing now because of what he did with my life through everything else that I faced. God has protected me through so many things, through so many trials in my life. He's brought me through them so victoriously. I have the assurance that he's not going to give up on me.
Yeah.
Um, Especially when I know that what I'm doing right now with Legacy 5 and just making music right now, I know that this is what God wants me to be doing. I don't think he's going to take that away from me. So that's how I know that God is going to. Matt, he's faithful. He is so faithful.
Yeah, that's right.
So I just know that he's going to take care of me.
Cool, man. Well, thank you for your time, bro. And I think that's a great message for folks to leave out on is God can be trusted. He's faithful, and good times and bad times, we can rely on him because his promises never fail us, and he's always there for us, and he loves us unconditionally. So
The verse that I stick with, one of my favorite verses, is Romans 11:29. For the gifts and callings of God are irrevocable, and I know that God has called me to play music, and He's given me this gift. So I know He's not going to take that away from me. So.
cool. That's awesome, man. Well, thank you for your time, buddy.
All right, I love you, Matt. See y'all.
Yeah, love you too. Take care.
Bye bye.